Hello and welcome back to this second part of the lesson, or I should say the skills review for chapter 1. So we got through part E last time, so we'll start with F. It says click on B9, we'll do that. The cell's formatted in a comma style format, and we know that. Because it should tell us this up here, but I'm in editing mode. I'm going to click off of that and just barely click on that. So we can click here and that's comma style, but it's not actually showing up in this box for us. And that's because comma, I don't believe is listed. So that's something else that you would have to make sure that it was set to. But if it wasn't formatted left, you could just click here on this particular graphic. All right, let's go back here. Look at the number format. Note the format of the cell is also accounting. On the Home tab in the Style group, look at the Cell Styles Gallery. Note the style is comma. It's highlighted. Hold on. Note the style difference between B4 accounting number format and the cell B9 comma style format. I'll just highlight that, signifying we have completed that. So if we look on cell styles, you'll notice that it's highlighted, comma right here. And that's one way you can tell what the formatting might be. So if we click on cell styles, we can see that it's comma down here. And so if we go back and click on B7, this cell is formatted using the short date format. Note the number format in the box displays date. Okay, so notice it says date here. I also want you to realize that dates are special kinds of numbers. And if we were to format this as general, that gives us 42,590. That's the number of days since December 31st. I believe 1899 or 1900. So starting 1900 would be day 1. That gives us the ability to subtract these days or add these days and get a numeric result. In order for that numeric result to appear as a date on the screen, we need to make sure we format those as date. And so that's what they wanted you to see there. All right, it says double click on cell B15. So we can do that. And that gives us our formula. So the daily bill is going to be B13 times B14. So that's the hourly rate times the total billable hours. Right, so B4, that's in red here, times B13. So B4, it has the dollar signs there, so that remains the same. So when we copy this over, B13 will go to B14, but B4 will remain the same, which is what we want to happen. So that's why this needs to be absolute and this one needs to be relative. Let's go back to our instruction sheet again. Note that the status puts us in edit mode. The cell contains the formula. B13 and B14 are highlighted with color matching the references in the formula. And so B4 is absolute. To get out of edit mode, we press escape, which I showed you. And we're going to look at B13 now. So B13, if I double click it, get out of here. Notice that is the sum of B9 to B12. So that's the range that we want to sum. Whether it's got something in there or not, it's going to give us the sum or the aggregate of the addition of all of that. Note that these are all relative. So when I copy this over, the B's will become C's for one cell over, one column over, I should say. Since we're staying in the same row, the row addresses will remain the same of 9 and 12. Again, it's all relative to, if this cell contains the sum of these cells, and when I copy this over, it should contain the sum of these cells and so on. That's what we mean by a relative addressing again. All right. We talked about that. Sum function uses a single argument to indicate the range of the cells. Note that when you double click that cell, it becomes highlighted and you see the sum function formula. And everything is relative. If you did press escape to get out of that. And if we're there, we can press the tab key. It just tabs us over one. So the enter key brings us down one, the tab key goes over one. So when we look at this, you'll see the formula here is C9 to C12. And we can keep doing that. And it's all relative to what was above it. So the function is relative to this. That's what we wanted to sum. When we copy that function, since it's all relative, it's going to be the first 4 cells above that are summed and the values placed in this cell. Okay. We can press the right arrow key to move through cells D13 and H13. And we showed you how those formulas change as well. Everything was relative. Showed you that as well. So notice the formulas up here. I hit the right arrow key and you can see how that changes. And you can do it on your spreadsheet as well. So now we're ready to start step 4. So this is now you're ready to complete the worksheet for David Swinson. Navigate to the Swinson Hours worksheet by clicking on that worksheet. So we'll click there. I'm just getting a little pop-up saying it wants to save or back up my worksheet, and I'm not currently linked to my P drive. And so if you're linked to your P drive, you shouldn't get any errors like that, or you could just enable what drive you want to save, automatically save your spreadsheet to. All right. Step 5. The staff member's last name is spelled incorrectly. Navigate to B2. And edit the text so that the last name is spelled correctly. So Swinson instead of Swanson, use the edit mode. It actually tells you how to do that. So we can double click, we hit enter when we're done, and it takes us off the cell. Did that, it's spelled Swinson, press enter to accept the changes. Good to go. The billable rate is missing, so it wants us to put that in the cell. So the billable rate is here. So what you want to do is put the cell pointer in the cell where you want to put the data. Then you want to enter the data. And so it's $175 probably per hour. And you don't want to do that. Got that done. It wants a counting number format. So press the up arrow key to return to B4. So you always have to be highlighting what you want to format. And we could just click on that for accounting. Click the accounting number format button. So we did that. So the dates are missing underneath. So enter the first date as this. So 8/8/2016. So 8-8-2016. And so Excel is smart enough to know that you're trying to enter a number. And so what it will do when I hit enter is enter a number. And when you have a number that's too large to fit in the cell, it gives you those pound signs. And so you need to either move it over. Notice how I did that. I just click on, when I get the double arrows, click here and then click and hold, and I can either shrink it or move it. It's one way to do it. Or I can double click when I have the double arrows, and it automatically adjusts it just wide enough to fit whatever's not being able to fit in there. Or I could do form the cell styles, wrong one, sorry. Go under format and do column width and then auto fit column width. So that can also take care of it. So there's multiple ways to do the same thing. All right, now, so we've done this. And every time you do something good or it's taking you a long while to figure something out, hit your save button. So that if something goes wrong, if electricity goes out or something happens, you can recover to something you most recently did. The next thing we're going to do is the auto fill. We're going to click on B7, click the fill handle and drag it to cell H7, and then we're going to release the mouse button. Make sure I did this, I may have hit the stop sign, but we're going to do step 9. Click on B7, fill the handle and drag it to H7. So we're going to click here. Notice this extra box is in this lower right hand corner. We're going to click and hold and drag that across till we get to here. And when we let go, it automatically fills it in. Now, I'm going to go ahead and format this as August 8th, 2016, because that's what the previous step said, because this shouldn't be getting this big here. That's just going to make it even wider. So I'm going to go to short date, and then that lists all the dates there. Notice how it did the 8/8, 8/9 all the way out to 8/14. Let's save it. Now you may not have this. You should have this. This is the quick access toolbar. And you can add any command that's in the spreadsheet on this bar. I typically put mine down here, but yours may be above the ribbon. So you just hit this symbol for save. That saves. I've hit something wrong here. So let's go to change the date format from 8/8/2016. So just how you can highlight that range and you can point to that range. All right. So notice how they're showing you two different ways to highlight the range. So either you could highlight it this way. So what I'm doing is I'm clicking and hold, left click hold, and I'm just highlighting. So I call that painting. Or I could put my cell pointer there, hold the shift key, and do a right arrow key, or I'm still holding the shift key, or I could click on the end, and that highlights everything, and then I could do the formatting. So again, that formatting, once I highlight the range that I want to apply the format to, I just select what I want. Okay. So it wanted short date, and that's what we've got. So at this point, I am going to pause again, and we will finish this up with a 3-part series here on this particular skill review. I've kind of gone a little extra slow this time just to make sure that we cover everything and you're getting everything.